Breaking news, Pat McGrath just started her Black Friday sale really early, like most of the other brands, but anyways, she started her Black Friday sale, and I have to say, I'm pretty sure this is the best sale of the year. I know Pat McGrath is always having sales, and I do post about them. Her best sales to purchase are when you can get 30% off, but this time around for Black Friday, what makes it special is you can get up to 40% off. So the official sale is if you spend over $50, then you get 30% off. Amazing. If you spend $150, you get 35% off. Even more amazing. And finally, if you spend over $250, which is very easy to do, you get 40% off. Now, that is almost unheard of, but this is why I don't recommend Pat McGrath products for the Sephora sale, because Pat McGrath does this and you can get 40% off. And the best thing about this that makes it super exciting is the new Holiday Celestial Nirvana collection is included in this. You can get the whole bundle of everything that launched in the collection for, I think it was like $207. Like, whoa. I didn't even purchase everything from the holiday collection because I just felt like the launches were so weird and spread apart. I actually might purchase everything else that I didn't. Maybe. We'll see. But anyways, I figured in celebration of the Black Friday sale, because it really is one of the cheapest prices that you can purchase Pat McGrath products for, that I would just sit down and do a full face of my beloved Pat McGrath products. It's a good time, you know, to get 40% off to spend $250. Think about gifts for other people if you don't know what to do for yourself. I don't know. It's a good sale. I'm excited. You know I love a good sale. Anyways, let's just get to playing. Starting off with the base. I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. I would say this is not my favorite primer. I don't necessarily recommend this. However, my mother, who has oily skin, loves this and swears it does make her makeup last longer. So, two opposing opinions. Do with that what you will. But yeah, not my favorite from the line. But I'm going to use it just for today's video because is a full face of Pat McGrath. I would say it's about time for Pat McGrath to expand on her complexion line, right? Did I run out of this? I think I ran out of this. Oh my gosh. You're seeing it here, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've used all of this product. For me saying I don't like this, oh, just kidding. I have some now. I just got excited for nothing. I was like, I used it all up. I didn't. But anyways, it's about time for Pat McGrath to expand her complexion line. I foresee, like, what I would like would be a super hydrating, glowy primer from Pat McGrath. One, I just think that's fitting for the aesthetic of the brand, but also it's totally necessary for what she doesn't have, you know? She has this one primer, which I'd argue doesn't do too much, but if she came out with a glowy primer, that would fill a whole new audience, just because this doesn't do much for my dry skin. Let me just say that. Give me something for dry skin people, and glowy products are just so popular. Glowy skin, glowy complexion. It would just make sense. So let's go ahead and apply foundation. I'm going to use her one and only foundation, and this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection foundation. This is a beautiful $68 foundation, so 40% off of that, amazing. I wear LM9 for those wondering, though I don't know, we'll see if it matches me. It's a very, very liquidy product. I'm pulling out the Pat McGrath Labs foundation brush to apply this, because why not? This is a really nice foundation brush, by the way. I do enjoy it. It's nice and like stiff, so I feel like it really works out the product, blends it out well, it doesn't really leave streaks behind. And it works out this foundation in particular very well because, I mean, these were kind of made for each other. So I did a video a few months ago. It was like a while ago. I want to say probably 8 months ago. Like, what I would like to see Pat McGrath launch. And along with my thoughts of her needing to work on expanding the complexion line, foundation included. I feel like she has this really beautiful, lightweight foundation in her line. I would love to see a foundation that's similar to the concealer, where it's a little bit more full coverage, a little bit more perfecting, not so everyday skin friendly. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this foundation. I love this foundation, but I think that could be a good next step to expand the complexion range. I guess I could also see her coming out with, I don't know, like a tinted moisturizer that's really beautiful and effortless. But the only reason why that's not my like go-to is because this is already just so lightweight and natural and beautiful that I feel like it's almost not necessary quite yet. Or a foundation stick, I feel like could be really, really cool as well. But anyways, I would love to see more products for Complexion because it's been a few years since she's launched her base stuff. Literally, I'm pretty sure it's been like 4 years since she launched the Complexion stuff. So base looks really beautiful. Pat does not have any eyebrow stuff, so give me a moment and I'll be back with better looking brows. For the eyeshadow today, well, first of all, brows, the Too Faced eyebrow gel, the best ever. Anyways, so for eyeshadow today, of course, with the holiday collection being on sale, I'm going to use the Celestial Nirvana Mothership Mega for today's look. There's just so many different colors. There's so many different avenues you can go with looks. I went with this one and it is so good. And I'm just so excited because you can get this for up to 40% off. And it's amazing. And side note, the little 5-panners that came out from the holiday collection, honestly, I like more than the Mothership Mega. I love the Mothership Mega. I think it's so fun. But these guys, I'm going to be wearing a lot. I've been having a lot of fun with these. So definitely a recommendation. But of course, there's so many colors in the Mothership Mega that we're going to use it. So I did use the Pat McGrath concealer as my eye base. I'll talk a little bit more about the concealer when I apply the concealer to more areas of the face, but let's get into it. So from the Mothership Mega, I'm going to start off with this pink shade right here. This could be a really pretty blush as well, but I'm going to go ahead and blend this in the inner corner of my eye, just like so. And then I'm just going to blend it out a little bit further. So I want the most amount of pigment right in the inner corner. But you'll see we do have the pink kind of hazing over the whole look. This is going to help with the blend. So with whatever is left on my brush, we blend it through. But focus the color right here. Then we're going to go into the lighter purple right here. I'm using a blinged brush for this. So it's kind of like, not fuchsia, but it's a lighter purple, not quite lilac. And it's going to start the gradient. Of course, for today's look for you guys, I wanted to do pink, purple, blue because favorite kind of look to do here. It does not match my shirt, but we'll pretend that it does. I do have like a strapless top on that I'm wearing. That goes better with the look. But it's cold in my apartment. Right there, very pretty. And then the gradient continues with the darker purple right here. Wayne Goss 19 brush, and I'm gonna focus this in the outer corner. I mean, this palette is just great because you can see the colors are blending out beautifully. They're very easy to use. And then, of course, my favorite part is that Pat McGrath really doesn't have any colors quite as colorful as these in her line, especially the permanent line. So you get more unique looks with this palette than ever. So starting off like that, I'm gonna take the brush that I used for the pink and we're gonna blend this outer corner out like so. And then we're gonna go into the dark navy shade right here. And this is gonna begin the blue element for the look. So I'm starting it off out here. And the reason I didn't put concealer on is just in case we get some fallout, we can wipe it off. Though as you can see, there is a lack of fallout, so that's really good. And if you want more on this palette, I've done a whole review and multiple looks if you want more inspiration from that, because there's just so many different looks that you can get from this. I'm going to take the brush that I used right before this for the dark purple shade, and we're going to soften the blue, just like that. Then let's get to my favorite part, the shimmers, of course. So I had to use this bright aqua blue, and we're just going to apply this right to the center of the eyelid. So just like so. Oops, didn't quite want the shimmer to go that high. And then for more detail, because I wanted my finger to just get the general placement. And then I'm going in with a small brush, just like a detail brush. This one is from Coastal Scents, which is no longer around, unfortunately. But I'm just kind of doing more precise placements with this brush. And then we're gonna go into the lilac shade right here, which is also shimmery. And this is gonna go in the inner corner that we have left, just like this. See, everything about this look is about the gradients. It's so pretty. I'm getting a little bit more of the dark navy so that we can redefine out here, and then it will make the blend with the shimmery blue more smooth. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm gonna do is I wanted something a little different to pop. So I'm using the shimmery gold, and this is going right here and right here. It's so pretty, oh my goodness. This eye always will look better on the second try, so this one I'm gonna try and even out off camera. So we don't have any fallout, so I don't need to clean anything up. We're just gonna go in with the concealer. If you watch my channel, you know Pat McGrath has one of my all-time favorite concealer formulations. I use the shade LM9 in this. And again, with the complexion growth that I want to see, I would love a more lighter weight concealer that's a little bit more similar to the foundation formula. Something thinner, you know, just different ways that I feel she has room to expand, but I'm just going to apply it a little bit. It is a thicker concealer. Unfortunately, the concealer brush that I have from Pat McGrath that I love is in my to be washed bin, but this concealer brush right here is amazing. It's nice and tiny, so it really allows you to get in the crooks and crevices, and it's perfect for this concealer since this concealer is on the thicker side. It pushes it around with so much ease for you to be able to blend and spread it out. Right now I'm using the new Rephr 36 brush, which is very nice for concealer as well. But the Pat McGrath has a smaller head to it, and it's a little bit more dense, which I think is more appropriate just with the consistency of that concealer. But this is such a perfecting concealer, and I feel like it looks so smooth. I've actually been through a couple of these concealer bottles, which is a lot for me because I have so much product. So when I actually work my way through, that means I love it. I'm gonna put some on my nose for a little extra coverage because the foundation has less coverage. This is gonna kind of make up for it. So I guess the foundation and concealer do somewhat work in harmony because wherever the foundation didn't cover, you can put concealer. But personally, I like a heavy foundation with a heavy concealer and then a light foundation with a light concealer. So I don't feel these two work perfectly together for my preferences, but I guess in this situation, it is kind of nice. I want a little extra coverage because my cheeks, I feel like, are looking a little red. But anyways, if you needed a sign to try the Pat McGrath concealer, this is it. It's one of my favorites. I've raved about it for years. In my opinion, it's one of the best fuller coverage foundations on the market. Concealers, sorry, not foundations. But you can use it as a foundation as well. I mean, less is more when you use it like that. It has such a smooth finish to it that's so pretty. And because I just can't stop talking about how amazing Pat McGrath's products are, we're gonna go into one of the best setting powders, in my opinion. So these are the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powders, a superb under eye setting powder that is so good that I use it for my whole face because it is that blurring. I have it in 2 colors. I've been through multiples of these as well. So I use the shade Light for my under eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and use this big fluffy Pat McGrath brush. And these are super duper fragile. They will break if you travel with them, but they are so good that I will repurchase them even if they break. But they do shatter very easily, but that's because they are so fine, and that very fine mill shows up on the face. Smooth. The best under eye setting powder. I'm trying to think because you know I love my Huda Beauty and my Maybelline Fit Me, but this one is very, it's up there. It's very, very blurring. I don't know which one I like more, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Medium now to set the rest of my face. Perfection. I guess this one is special because it's in a pressed form. My Maybelline and my Huda Beauty are a loose form, so you actually end up putting a lot more product on the skin. So if you want a lighter layer of powder on the skin, the Pat McGrath is the way to go. It is a game changer in the routine. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up the lower lash line now. We're going back into our beloved palette. I'm gonna take the pink because we want this to run all the way through the look. So I'm just gonna apply this along the whole lower lash line. I'm using a big fluffy brush because it's okay for it to pop through underneath the shades if it goes a little lower. Though be careful of the pink eye situation. You also don't want your eye to look infected. So don't let it go too low. But just like that, so that we know she's here. And then I'm going to go to the darker purple. I'm skipping the lighter one just because we don't have that much room on my eyes. I have smaller sized eyes, so I can only put so many colors. We're building that gradient. This is a Wingos 19. It's great for a lower lash line blend. Sonia G Soft Definer. We're going into Zen Navy shade. And this will kind of bridge the upper eyelid and our lower lash line together, make it more cohesive. Isn't that pretty? Excuse me. I'm gonna take next this shade right here, and this is going right in the center of the lash line, just like that. And then I feel like to bring the whole look together, I'm going to go into the gold next. So I'm skipping the lilac shade and we're going into this gold right here, and I'm putting it right over top of the pink. This is going to brighten the eye as well. And it looks so good, doesn't it? What a colorful look. I can't believe this is from Pat McGrath. So moving on to eyeliner, I just want to do a simple black liquid liner. Pat McGrath has a liquid liner. It's very good, but it dries out quickly. And I just found myself having to keep repurchasing it. So it's not my favorite liquid liner. The quality of it is really nice. It just doesn't have a longer lifespan. So it's good to pick it up on sale if you love it. For me today, I'm just going to use my Tom Ford eye defining pen, but let's pretend it's the Pat McGrath. I just stopped repurchasing it because I have so many eyeliners. But I'm just going to do a quick, simple black line. I can't help myself, I always have to do a wing, but we're going to put falsies on so you won't see much of it. Besides eyebrows, Pat McGrath is also missing a good bronzer in her line. I'm ready for Pat McGrath bronzer, let me tell you. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my Tom Ford Terra bronzer, another great luxury product. So let me quickly throw this on. Now for blush and highlight, I absolutely wanted to go into the cheek palettes from the holiday collection as well. So I did end up picking up both. The one that I ordered from the Pat McGrath website literally took 3 weeks to get to me. So when you place an order, expect that there might be some delays in typical Pat McGrath fashion. But these are really great deals if you want to try the blushes from Pat McGrath. There's a couple pre-existing blushes in both of these palettes, but I couldn't help it. I had to pick it up because it's so convenient. So how they look, it's like this. I think I've only talked about these one time before on my channel in terms of using it, but I've talked about these a few times, I guess, but I've only used it once. So this one right here is Nude Venus. So these colors are more on the nude side, but you get 4 blushes and then 1 highlight. So Nude Venus, I don't know, is this the one we want? I think I might want to actually go into Divine Rose instead, because this one has got some more tones that I think, yeah, would be better. We're definitely going to use the pink, actually. So this one is Divine Rose. So this one has more of a rosy base to it. I'm going to go ahead and grab this Pat McGrath brush, and I want a hot pink cheek. Not so hot pink, but we're starting off with the hot pink color. So the blush shade that I just used is named Peony Rose. And if you're curious about the blush formulation for Pat McGrath, really, really beautiful. At first when I reviewed these, I was like, there's nothing special about them. They're just blushes. They're a good formula. But I found myself consistently reaching for these dang blushes because they last a long time, they are foolproof, they're easy to blend out, and she has the most beautiful colors. So I now am a big fan of the blushes. They're just a great formula to reach for. And I love the colors that she has, so much of them as well. So that is the blush that we're using today. And these are great, especially if you don't have any Pat McGrath blushes in your collection, this is definitely the way to go. Packaging is pretty nice. You get a lot of different colors, a highlighter as well. So while I didn't do a dedicated review of these blush palettes, I'm here to update you that I think they are very nice. If you have all of the Pat blushes, you don't need this unless you want to use these for travel, which is really a good deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the highlight in here as well. This is BK Beauty A112, which is from the new collection. I believe these will be on sale for Black Friday. This is just such a good highlight brush, is it not? Get in here, get in here. Beautimus. Looks really good. For a while, Pat McGrath, I felt like did not have a good highlight formulation, but she's definitely mastered it, and this is like the Pat McGrath glaze. I think it's so nice. So these are definitely something that I haven't gotten the chance to talk enough about. They are gorgeous. I'm gonna throw on my favorite mascara from Pat McGrath. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Fetish Eyes Mascara. There's a lot of really good mascaras on the market. This one was one of my favorites for my short, sparse, thin lashes. However, it does flake. So if you can't stand flaking, then this is not the mascara for you, but it is a good one. So I'm gonna pop this on the lower lashes. There is a fragrance to it. It's like a floral scent. So I know a lot of you guys said you're bothered by the fragrance in it. So that's something to keep in mind. Personally, I'm not bothered by it. I don't think it's that strong, but I definitely do smell it when I pull the wand out of the tube. I really do feel like this mascara does such a good job, especially with my lower lashes. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop on some falsies and then pull the lip colors. And Pat McGrath's lip selection is insane, so I can't wait to talk about that. It's all coming together, folks, and you know the drill with lashes lately. Velour Cloud 9 have been my go-to, but I pulled a gorgeous pink lip for today. Starting off with the lip liner, I'm going to use the shade Buff. Wow, she really needs sharpened, but I will scratch my lips with the wooden part in order to not have to sharpen this because I'm lazy. Yeah, the wood is scratching my lips. But it's such a good color. It's like a your lip color, but a little bit more pink. And just let it be known, Pat McGrath has my top 2 favorite formula of lip liners because it applies so creamy, but it sets down and lasts such a long time. A pretty bulletproof lip liner, I would say. So we're going to start off with this. Buff is a beautiful shade. Another go-to for me, it's Contour. It's a little bit more brown. I'm actually going to put also an unsharpened one just right down here to add a little bit of a shadow. So Contour is a beautiful, legitimate contour shade as well. Done on Done is another one that I love. I know I keep talking about how great her products are, but the lip liners are also on the top of the must-haves. Now for lipstick, I chose the shade Dream Lover. This is a beautiful mauve shade. It's one of my favorite lipstick shades that she has. Now, in terms of her lipsticks, I'm not going to tell you I don't like them because obviously I very much like them, but I don't pay full price for them unless they're in a collection that I'm reviewing because you can always get them on sale. They aren't my favorite lipstick formulation. Charlotte Tilbury, all-time favorite. But if you can get them on sale, you can't beat this packaging. And she has some very nice colors, and it just feels powerful to have a Pat McGrath lipstick. So Dream Lover, though, is one of my favorite colors. If you can get your hands on it, I do recommend it. And Pat McGrath does a lot of bold colors in her lip line, which isn't my style right now. I'm more into bold eyes, but if you like bold colors, she has so many beautiful red shades, beautiful shades for fall, bright shades as well that a lot of companies won't touch. So I do like her range for that. So that's the lipstick. It's really beautiful. And then another top tier formula is her lip glosses. I would say this is my #1 favorite lip gloss formulation. I'm like fighting in my head with Fenty. Dior also has a really good one, but I'm pretty sure this is my all-time favorite. So I'm going to use the shade Aphrodisiac. This is just a light pink. I wanted to bring out the pinkiness because I feel like Dream Lover had a little bit of peach in there to match the pink on my crease. The lipstick formula is just so good. It's thick, so it lasts a long time, but it's not sticky at all. But the thickness also helps kind of fill in the lines of the lips, which makes your lips look more plump. But again, not sticky at all, lasts a long time, best lip gloss formula. we've already reached the end, guys. This is the look. It's a colorful one from Pat McGrath because I had to take advantage of the colors in the Mothership Mega. And it's been a while since I've done a full face of Pat McGrath, and I thought no better time than when the Black Friday sale starts. 40% off over $250 spent is a really, really great deal from Pat McGrath. She's done 40% off before, but not very often. It's normally 30% off. So if you've been wanting anything from Pat McGrath, this is legitimately one of the best times to shop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Also a really exciting time since the holiday collection is finally included in this sale, and I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get the holiday items at this price because it's unbelievable. But anyways, let me know if you pick up anything from the sale. If you want any recommendations, I have a Pat McGrath video on everything in the line. You know it's one of my favorite brands, probably my favorite, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.